Let's see. Got it.
Hello, 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 all the folks out there. We are on live. Yes, it's 9 o'clock. It's a Tuesday evening. As we say in Jamaica, it's Tuesday evening.
Yes, it's 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock on the dot. So hopefully everybody is tuning in. I'm on YouTube. I don't see anybody yet, but I'm monitoring YouTube.
Okay, so, and I'm going to check my folks out on Facebook and see who is not here yet and who is here. So let me try and find it, and it will probably have a little feedback until I find it.
Okay.
And it.
Yeah, how was your day? Good.
I had a good day. A super cool day it was. It was a long. Oh, VM Heslop says, hello, ladies. Hello, VM. Thank you so much for being here. And everybody else who's watching, we're on. So, Michelle, you got chocolate?
No. I was like, did people forget about me? I don't know. What you call the person I hate Valentine's? That, you know, like on Christmas, you have the Grinch.
Yeah.
Let me just give the vibes like, well, it wasn't a big deal. But no, I didn't. My son did get a lot of stuff, but I didn't.
Oh, never mind. And all the better. You don't need all them whole heap of calories anyway. So might as well. Look on the bright side.
How was your Valentine's Day?
I had a great day. It was the start of the term. Persons were back on campus face to face, and we had chocolate for them. And I got chocolate, and today I got chocolate again. So it's been a good week, and I mean, you can just keep it coming. Lay on the chocolate.
So how is it with the face to face? Was it a good start?
People are adjusting. People are adjusting, and it is something that is coming. I see where the Jamaica Teachers Association is not supporting it somewhat, but people are adjusting. Everybody goes supermarket and market and church and
everything else. Yeah, and I think it's just something that they just have to do, you know, like we've been 2 years in. So it's time to like just get back to some.
That's true.
Especially
and
for
there's
children.
there's some countries in the region who have been back forever. June is over in Cayman. June, how long have you been doing face-to-face? Put it in the chat. Let me catch up. I have some messages rolling out on me. Michael Tomlinson says, welcome, ladies. Welcome, Michael. Thank you. Carlene Madden says, good night, ladies. Good night, Carlene. VM herself says, oh, she's more than welcome, gracious. June says, greetings and salutations. Hey, June. Teresa Townsend says, hi, ladies. Hi. Diana is on and she's not late. She says, good night, ladies. Little one finally asleep, so here I am. Did you get grab water? Diana, did anybody introduce you to the grab water? Oh, Jacqueline Rose says that since 2020, we don't have lockdown. Jacqueline, where are you? Tell me, where are you? And June says, since summer 2020, they've been doing face-to-face. And she says, good night. Peter Gay says, good night. All right. Mish?
Nothing on YouTube yet. Nothing on YouTube yet, but I hope they're listening in and about to tune in. Remember to tell all your family and friends and share the page. Remember, we're here every Tuesday night and Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Just a reminder, we're here ready to talk. But while you were doing that, remember we're talking about the back to school and how it's going. Like here in Florida, like the school has started last year, I think around March last year, with, you know, students back in school. They were wearing masks, but I think now they have the option which when I do pass by and I see, like today I was driving and I was passing by a school and the children are outside playing, like recess playing. I see people just stopping, looking at them, just, getting back to a normal life. And I say, you know what, Jamaica need to, like accept that and just move on. Like we all have our fear, like with COVID and what can happen. But to see how children are able to live, a normal kind of life despite COVID. That you see some parents let them wear the mask, like when at the airport they wear their mask, other places. But like for schools, like some of them wear the mask in the classroom, but outside, like allow them to do
They're allowed
whatever.
with it. Okay.
So I'm glad the government of Jamaica is moving towards that direction.
Well,
With
here we see, because the Jamaica, and I'm quoting from Nationwide News, the Jamaica Teachers Association is expressing concern regarding the government's planned resumption to full face-to-face classes after the upcoming midterm break. So when we go off Ash Wednesday, which is March 2nd, they're saying that there's a pushback. Prime Minister Holness announced the government's intention last week in the sitting of the thing. But the JTA president says concerns remain about the ongoing possibility for transmission of COVID-19. He says steps should be made to safeguard the health and safety of education stakeholders who have to operate at school. He says the government should consider postponing the full resumption of face-to-face classes until at least May 2022. But isn't that summer?
it look like a summer, so they got summer school again.
Whoa. I mean, so many other regions have been on and them don't have no issues. No, man, it's fine time to get on with it, Misha. I agree with you
Yeah,
on
and I
that.
think, the teachers need to stop with this fighting, because if anything, they should encourage the teachers who haven't gotten the vaccine to go get the vaccine to protect themselves, protect the students, like do their part. But they shouldn't, like, as we see how horrible it is for the children right now, and they're gonna have to do a lot of catching up back,
Yes.
to get ahead, to bring Jamaica forward again to where we're, top, the top. So I will see other private schools have been doing it. They're surviving, they're making it work. So I don't think it's a lot. So the teachers need to chill a little on that aspect and go back to the classroom, unless they have other agendas. But it shouldn't be a problem to go back into the classroom. They go everywhere else. They go on vacation. They do everything else. You could go back into the classroom for a few hours.
Yeah. All right, let's catch up back on my comments. Jacqueline Rowe is in St. Martin, and since 2020, they've been back in face-to-face. Thanks for sharing that information. Angela says, good night, ladies from New Jersey, under a cold 20 degrees, going down to 7. Well, she having moonlit sky, so cheer up, Angela. Hush, hope you have a little rum. Diana says, I just give him a teething ring to bite on. Okay, so no grape water. Jacqueline Rose says we have curfew, but not for long. Okay. Michael says Brownstone Courthouse destroyed by fire, no water available in hydrants. Michael is who tell you that no water was available. I didn't read that in the news. Jacqueline Brown says Brownstone has been without water from I was a teenager, and now she is all of 13. All right, she's 53.
Yeah, like oh, sorry, go ahead. When you finish the comments, I come back with that
Let's pause on that. I
Brownstone
know
thing.
where I'm at.
Yeah, because it was just kind of funny, because people were saying there was this one person that was at the location that said there was no water to assist with fighting.
So the fire
the
trucks came with a full tank, I take it.
They had this video going that shows the tank, the fire truck arriving, but the water was already leaking out. Like they didn't close it properly. So that was a funny part. But the thing is that I'm kind of shocked that they don't monitor the hydrants. I heard they did it after the fire. But I thought that it'd be something that they do to maintain, because we never know when we're going to have an accident or a fire. So you should always be prepared. Isn't that the point of, being ready. So
And
I'm
they were
surprised that
having
they said no,
hydrants.
yeah, like no water was available. And also another thing that caught me was that they didn't have much. I know they're old buildings, so they can't really redo whatever plumbing needed to ensure they have proper sprinklers, in these buildings.
But
But
it's not a requirement, Mish.
they need to make it a requirement, especially look at all those records and our laws. It should be a requirement for all these buildings in Jamaica. We see a lot of fires now, more than ever. I don't know if it's electrical or what it is, but they need to have a code and make sure these buildings are up to code. Schools should be up to code. You know what I mean? Or
That's
build new buildings for these courts.
oh gosh. It's unfortunate. Jacqueline says Jamaica just illiterate, and she's making reference to the teachers, the JTA not supporting, or the general public not recognizing that face-to-face is the way to go. But going back to the sprinkler system and the fire hydrant, I wonder if we had parked in front of that fire hydrant, if we would get a ticket.
You should.
Yeah, you would get, but
There.
it's not a functioning hydrant. It might as well have been a post.
Yeah, that kind of sad, man. Then if you make a priority to go out and check all these hydrants, like even I think I'm not sure if it's this, but usually you see the fire department ever so often in our area. Just drive around, just checking. You just see they open it up to make sure the water is flowing, have it running for a while. You just see the fire truck going and testing, like just going around testing to be compliant. So, and they go to, like they go to businesses to ensure that businesses are also compliant, where you have your, extinguisher at the right location, the occupancy is correct, like all these things, and exit signs are, proper direction as to what to do in the case of a fire. Which I do know that they do these things in Jamaica. I guess they don't regulate it or do it as often, because I know that the disaster preparedness, the office, what do they call it? The Office of the Data Preparedness, they're the ones that go into schools to ensure that schools, teaches children what to do and also have everything in place. But it looked like they do that part, but the fire department are doing their part to
Right. And I
ensure.
think the local government has some responsibility for the fire department. So, and which ties back into the parish council, which is a local government. And it raises for me a concern that as to the capability of the individuals who put themselves forward as councillors, and whether or not we really, and I had said it before, that we needed to have qualifications for MPs, and we probably need to have qualification for those people at the parish council level as well, that these people must come with some basic knowledge and training. Them can't just get up so and anybody can become this person, anybody can become that person, and don't understand a process fully, monitoring and evaluation concept, how you monitor for the efficiencies of this operation, how do you assess and evaluate what kind of adjustments need to. No, man, we need to have people who are more competent and more can do a little better.
Exactly. And they should be able to do better. And if they're not doing better, they should be removed. They shouldn't wait on election time to remove them. They should grade them. And especially if they have committees and such that they have them assigned to ensure that they're doing their job, because when these things happen, it reflects bad on them. So I'm not sure like why whoever judge, the mayor or whoever, would want individuals underneath him that are not functioning or
But
have the
even they
different
are themselves
departments.
too, because them come out of the same system where somebody just get up and I suppose for whatever reason. No man, people need to have some qualification when them come to these positions. They need to
Yeah,
debate.
they need to do a better job, and they need to, because some people maybe look like you just want a leadership position and you're like, okay, let me just run. They have the popularity or who backing me. Okay, let's get this position, but they don't really know the work that it entails. And some of them, all they do is tell like, oh yes, I'm doing this, knowing well they're not doing anything. And it really impacts our community, because even to today I was talking about why we don't have other businesses located outside. Like how towns are congested. So instead of having like certain essential, like tax offices and such in, like in the clustered areas, move them like outside of the town so people can have parking, like it's not as congested. And then they find out it's local government that really make these designs and, like they're the ones that do it. And I'm like, they don't look around and see, like when you walk into any town,
Spread
you
out the
see traffic.
space.
Exactly, like move out, like have business areas, like outside. People don't have to go in the
Right.
town to get things done.
And give
But
people
what I like,
incentive to move their businesses outside of the cramped up designated townships. They've been the same townships for 100 years,
mhm.
and everything has changed, population has changed and everything. Jacqueline says that she watched the fire she watched it live, the Brownstone fire, and that the people had to go all the way to Ocherius. June says that despite a high vaccination rate, 88% fully vaxxed and 90% with one dose, COVID has swept through the schools here, and she's in Cayman. Teachers and pupils alike, the worst was between November and January. Jamaica has what, 25% vaccinated, full school to disseminate the education
Well,
communities
the
with
school not
schools.
fully yet.
Schools can run without teachers and pupils here. Teachers test twice per week and pupils also test. But who pays for that, June? Has the Jamaican government finally put even free? A joke I make. No, we don't have no such testing and no school, no free. You know, so come
Yeah,
and
were they
embarrass you.
supposed to send kits, like testing kits to school?
Well, I haven't been fortunate enough to see no school that have no test nor no kit. Um, the video I saw showed water coming from the hose. VM herself contending that there was water. Well, the place burned down, so there wasn't enough. Diana says, Angela, that is a warm. Her temperature is -3, much better than -18 last week. So it's warming up nicely. With a little one now, cannot even get to go to do any skiing. Hush. June says there has to be a blended approach and staggering re-entry to schools. 1 week off, 1 week on. The entire school population could be the fodder for super spreading incidents. Sanitize. Well, she's agreeing somewhat with the JTA, but not the JTA didn't put in any of these things in their statement. So thanks for putting it out there to them. Them can watch the show and find all the comments to support what they're saying. Sanitizer is supplied. We're not supplying no sanitizer. The school have a bite. Teachers sanitize pupils' hands here on entry to lessons. Okay, government supplies masks to every child in government schools. Jamaica don't have that. You better come with your mask. Some schools have it and will give you one.
Well, they can get donations like these corporations and other individuals can donate masks and help. But I think they just need to get back to it because they go everywhere and they do everything. Yes, just when you look at the public transportation packed, so everything is packed, KFC packed. You know what I mean? Those things
banks
are not
packed.
bank packed is not essential, but education is essential. It is needed. So they just have to do what they need to do.
And more so when the reports are such high rates of failure amongst the students. Another thing for me too is the PEP. The minister announced today that the first set of the PEP exam going to be postponed until sometime in March 24th. I really don't know. Diana says that Diana, my grandmother's famous words, they buy their qualification. They never even buy them. The Jamaican Fire Brigade, Philip says, is way behind in resources and needs medical training. They need an EMS system. Philip, might I tell you that there is nowhere in Jamaica, I've looked at it to introduce it at Catholic College of Mandeville, there is no certifying body for EMS in Jamaica, unfortunately. That's how it is.
What?
Jacqueline says, my sister is a vice principal and she has been going to school for a while. Yep, I know. Sorry, Mish.
Oh, that's cool. No, kind of odd. Nobody can certify anybody in
No,
Jamaica.
there's no such training available, formal training available for EMS. But don't worry, we'll
They
fix
need
it.
to. Yeah, we'll fix it. They need it because it's needed, especially with what I think they need to do is, I've said it before, for people that live near crash. Like on the highways, you have a lot of crash. You see
Mhm.
people always jumping in, pulling people, like sometimes they create more harm than good, although their heart is in the right place. But to
Mhm.
actually train people within communities
Mhm.
as emergency individual, like to assist
Mhm.
with these until the fire department shows up, our police, so I'm surprised they don't have these trainings.
But we don't have
Wow.
those training, and is there is no formal EMS training. You can still get pieces of it elsewhere. I remember in the States, they you could go to on set days. I think it was Saturdays in my community where you could go for CPR training, and it would be a
Yeah.
4-week training, and people are encouraged. You could go Home Depot and get some training and stuff. But more so, the fire brigade would offer these basic things that you
Yeah.
say when there's an accident, people would need it. Jacqueline
Yeah.
Rowe is lamenting the fact that we don't have no EMS formal training. No, we don't. And Fern Francis is saying, where
Surprised.
is Leo tonight?
Hmm?
Tell Fern, where is Leo tonight? Fern is
They
asking.
are study.
Leo have book for read and he's gonna read him book tonight.
But I'll
So
I'll
he's not
send
here
your
to be offer
message
Fern.
over. I'll send on your message so he knows you're asking for him.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of shocking though, but that's something that can be done to train, because here too you could get CPR training, especially, there's a difference between what for children and for adults.
Right.
They could do the training, which is good, and I'm hoping teachers do CPR training or no. Do they?
But I'm going to answer that.
No, but that would have been, like anything could happen. So some
Yes, anything
individuals,
can happen,
need
but
to
there's
have
no
training.
formal training. There is no requirement. It's not stipulated that you must go through this training. So it comes on to different institutions making a decision to give their teachers that competence or that capacity.
Hmm.
Mm.
Okay, with all that
Anyhow.
said, they should.
But let's move on. It's almost 20 minutes gone, and we have more.
Yeah.
So the two-man bobsledge team fails to medal in Beijing. So unfortunately, Jamaica didn't make any medal. We finished 30th in the heat 3 with a time of 3.04. That is 6.7 seconds slower than the fastest time. Imagine that. You're on 6.7 seconds slower and you make 30th position. Wow. But
Wow.
good try. We qualified,
Yeah,
we
no,
made it here.
there.
And
How many people
to be
entered?
ashamed of.
Yeah,
I
how many
said,
countries entered? I always
hmm?
look at that. I always look at the amount of people that entered, countries that enter the category. And to me, if you're even above half that number, that is
Hmm.
great. Just qualifying is a major thing, and not everybody qualify. And the fact we don't have snow, we qualify, that is major. And to go there and land in a position not disqualified is also major. So next time they just have to build on what they have. So kudos to them for doing an awesome job.
Yeah. Kudos
Inspiring.
indeed.
Yeah. Because
Thank
before we
you.
move on, there was a thing on social media that I saw when they said, like we don't have snow. And they said like 8 people made it to Mount Everest. And somebody said, like, why would anybody, no, 8, I guess African Americans went there. So they were like, why would anybody go there? And somebody said a Jamaican went there. So out of the 8, there was a Jamaican that climbed all the way to the top of Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So we're everywhere.
We have to accomplish. We have to party to all the accomplishments.
Everything.
Yeah, we have to be. Jacqueline says yes, of course, for all. Michael says I need to use real hand cart men. Yes, it's true. Them that is where we started with real hand cart, man. Jamaican don't have ice. No, we don't have no ice. Philip says the Heart Foundation should offer, right, and the Heart Foundation does offer CPR and first aid certification, but you don't have an abundance. You don't have them in every town and every city, every major town or community. But the next closest thing is a fire brigade. And I think that the fire station, the fire brigade should really be the institution to
Definitely.
support the training and the certification, especially CPR, little first aid, and like Michelle said, when people have accident and so forth, how you support them. So yes, the Heart Foundation does offer some training and it costs money, not free either.
You're
But
free.
these are things that should be free.
Well, I don't mind them paying a little money, especially seeing they don't have much, funding.
Yeah, but not when
But
you have to pay $8,000, you don't want to pay
well,
that.
that's not too much. But I think something like
Yeah,
$1,000 contribution.
you know, into,
Mm.
it's hard to find that kind of money right now. So while we're lamenting, we might as well lament two other things. It says US bird flu case puts chicken and turkey farms on high alert. I didn't know that you guys had bird flu issue in America. It's
Oh, we do again.
yeah, so there's a problem, and it's a worse problem because the Jamaican government just opened up for the importation of chicken parts.
Did they
Supposedly
or did they say they
they
would?
did, they did.
They did.
Yeah, when
Despite the objection, they did go ahead.
yeah, they did open up the
Oh,
same time when they was saying is a proposal it
it wasn't. It was
done
actually like we're
already.
doing it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So another news, which not we can take it either which way. Shady gun licenses. The FLA probe, and FLA is a firearms licensing authority in Jamaica. Over 200 illegal gun license. Then how it issued, but a license, if you have a gun license, it must be illegal.
Well, I guess what they said was that they didn't follow the criteria. Everybody didn't meet. Like how you have strict criteria that everybody needs to go by in order to qualify and steps that they need to take. I guess some people jumped steps, did not
Yeah,
qualify.
but how does it become illegal? If I apply for a license, a gun license, and the authority that the organization, that authority issues me with a license, how then it becomes an illegal gun license?
What illegal mean? Like you have the set thing for the organization. You have people within the organization for whatever reason find loopholes or whatever to assist family or friends or whoever else and bypass certain steps to give them the license. So by an audit, you look at it and say, okay, this person did not meet the criteria, so they should not have a gun. So then they look back and say, who gave them the permission? So it's still based on the requirement of the organization. They did not meet the requirement. So that means that they enough to have a license. So even if obviously some little bandul, whatever go on, that they realize, so they're weeding it out and they ensure that everybody is compliant. So I guess if you have certain criminal records, you're not supposed to have a license. And they found out some individuals did when they did. And that's why it's good never to have the same set of people on boards for extended period of time.
But
Always
it's interesting. I have to go and close this window because I hear a lizard and he can't stay in here tonight. So let me close this window. Sorry.
Dr. Then I have a visitor people, an unwanted visitor.
I'm afraid of lizard. We not take no shame and no lizard coming through my window here tonight. I mean, I care who no afraid of lizard, that a fidel problem. Me still content said, but I'll read it. Says the FLA says it has carried out a probe that has revealed that over 200 persons with criminal cases or convictions for serious crimes being approved firearm license. They got them. They are not illegal for me. This CEO, Shane Dallin, said in the cases mentioned, the license were issued by previous board members, even though the board members before had advised against such activities. He was speaking at a press conference held at the AC Marriott Hotel, Kingston. No, what do you think, Michelle? I see so many flaws in this. And what jumped out at me is that the FLA has headquarters that them could have a press conference. I don't know that he had to go to the Marriott Hotel to hold a press conference. This is an expensive hotel in Jamaica, you know, the
Me
AC
here
Marriott Hotel. And him have to go there so to hold a press
waste
conference.
that money. You never have to do that. You can do it via Zoom. But what I didn't like about the press conference is that I don't think he should have named names of individuals that got these license or whatever process they're doing to unravel, find out these individuals. I don't think he should have named their names, because if they're saying they're still investigating or doing whatever they're doing, they should fully conclude what they're doing and then follow other process. Either they prosecute them or do whatever they're doing. But I agree with you. He shouldn't have hold this big press conference. I guess they're trying to prove something. I don't know.
No, man, you know, if you hold this a big press conference in the big hotel, when you have when other people in the government sector getting 4% increases because we can't afford it and all of these things, and you can't put masks in school and those things, and him gone to go to lament. And I didn't like also the fact that he says that one set of board do it and then the other set of board go and approve it. Those are internal matters that he perhaps could have not
keep
shared
it to
with the public.
themselves. We never need to know that. We
Yeah,
just need to know so the board did it. If the person who did it for the board, like did something criminal, but usually they have their procedures that you have to follow. Like, like if somebody don't do something in accordance, you have the procedure where they go to arbitration or whatever. So we don't need to know all of this right now, unless there's something they're trying to jump ahead of that's coming. We don't know.
All right. VM Heslop says, I remember being in Jamaica and a dog was run over by a vehicle. I tried to call the emergency number and the person who answered asked, and what you want me to do? And Noreen Hunt says, really? Oh no, she can't believe it. Peter Gay said, that's new Dr. D. That new Dr. D. Every day there's a new atrocity. I suppose so. Jacqueline Rose says, like, for example, Jocure, they gave him as an example. Yes, they did. Peter Gay says, you're calm. I hear Lisa, let's start. Philip says a stack of high-powered weapons were intercepted at the ports of entry recently in Jamaica. Yes, a few of that has been happening. Nancy Brown said advertise at taxpayers' expense, and that's why they went to the hotel. Yes, so the hotel and everybody get advertised at our expense. We spending the money there, and them have office that we're already paying rent for. So they must go use the office space and have these. Diana says, yeah, Doc, did you say lizard? I remember being on my honeymoon in Jamaica and we're in the garden, a tiny lizards fell on the table. I did a Usain Bolt out of there. Oh gosh, my friend bought a pet lizard for her 3-year-old. I no longer go to her house. Got to be kidding. No, we're not. Nancy Burns, so who's going to be accountable for the act of issuing those licenses? Exactly. Good question. Michael says, death by committee. No one is ever responsible for anything in Jamaica, unfortunately. But somebody's being accountable, and John Public is being asked to be accountable. And I thought it was just so super funny. I saw this, and some of you probably saw it as well. And I really think it's super funny that the Jamaica Constabulary Force had an ad saying that people were to give up the women were to give up their exes if they were involved in criminal activity. You saw that, Michelle?
Yes, side. It was a funny ad. I find it amusing. I got the message. Some
Yeah.
people were up in their bunches, but it was a fun way of getting the message out. You have to be creative, appeal to these women, turn these men in. Like we need to get Jamaica back, take it back.
Let me tell you,
So,
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I agree with the idea that you must turn in the ex. What happened to the current boyfriend? So if you're current with him now, it's okay to keep him for Valentine's Day. But I commend the people who made this ad. It really
creative,
is catchy. And there's some ads that just stick with you. If you
yeah,
guys haven't seen it, you need to Google it and find that ad.
yeah.
There's some
And
ads that stick with you during your life. You have any ad that you can remember as a girl growing up, Mish?
I remember what was that one? Big boy one killing Granny Fowl and Cookie. You know which one I'm talking? What the guy name? I was in the school uniform. Remember that
Um,
tall actor?
Michael London, I think is his name.
What's his
That
name?
him?
Yeah, but he killing
Boise.
Granny Fowl. And the name was when he shine when he finished.
Boise.
Boise, yeah.
Yeah, Boise.
That one. And this other one is to have with children. It used to go like they used to sing children live what they learn.
Yes.
I think he was Jamaica National. I want to say that did that ad.
I remember there's this one with Oliver Samuels that he would say, Lord, I feel peckish.
Mm.
No. You remember that?
Mm-mm.
Nobody don't remember that ad with Oliver Samuels and him say, Lord, I feel peckish. What are you going to eat now? And him say, I'm going to eat some bread and butter. And then he put the thing on the bread and he spit it out back and him say, but this is not butter. Where the butter there?
Well, I remember it. Was it the ad for the chiffon? Which
Yes,
butter
yes,
was
yes, 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 yes. And he wanted that. And he said, but this is not butter. And he
they
threw
still
it.
make that butter? They still make that butter in Jamaica?
Yes, chiffon. It's a
Mm.
margarine, but yes, them still make it. It was no
It was
butter.
really good. Yeah, I like it.
It's salty, not good for you. Sandra
Yeah.
Sterling says, hello, beautiful people, just getting home from work. Scary rain and lightning. Hush, you don't like lightning. Me not like driving lightning down me there. Especially America lightning. Then strike stronger.
Seriously.
Oh gosh, that's too funny.
I'm
All
not
right.
seeing no comments, but I see you all. I
Okay,
see.
there are folks on, but you're not seeing them. All
Yeah, they're
right.
not coming.
In keeping with what we had said about celebrating people outside of the traditions, we had done Marcus Garvey. That was the first one that came in
Yeah.
to us.
Yeah, I was seen Johnny for a while.
Yeah, Joni's still not on. Wondering what to hope that everything is okay. Joni, please type in and let us know that you're there and all is well. We've missed you for a few days now. But I thought I would spend some time and talk about just my community that I grew up in, Hopefield in Maypen. There are just so many people in there to celebrate, so many lives that have lived different lives and different ways of doing things. There's one school teacher there called Mrs. Salmon. Her name was Iris Salmon, and she taught almost everybody. And people came to her. She had a private little school at her house. She taught in the Cayman Islands for years. And then when she retired, she came back to Jamaica and she lived in Hopefield. And she would teach taxi driver. She would teach children. She would teach anybody who wanted to learn to read. She set up a little school and it was the strictest school, but they all did well because for her, phonics was the most important thing. And she had some books, and I still do have some of them that she had given to David and Dana when they were growing up. And I don't remember how many, I don't remember these books. Keywords with Ladybird, Where We Go, Things We Like, Out in the Sun. Michelle, you used to read these books?
Mm-mm.
You never get these books to read?
No, I
Who
don't
never
remember
get this
that.
book to read? These Ladybird books were important for her because they emphasize particular phonics and certain principles. So that was Mrs. Iris Salmon, a great teacher. Yes, she was quite a legend. Noreen is asking which parish Maypen is in. If I ever look it down, you see, it's in Clarendon.
Clarendon, Maypen.
Capital of Clarendon is Maypen. June South says Miss Salmon was a real legend, awesome educator. Quite true, June, a legend. Anybody who passed through Maypen know Iris Salmon as an educator. And then now we could, beside Mrs. Salmon, there lived this pastor named Pastor Lawrence. And Pastor Lawrence had this wonderful mango tree, Julie mango tree. And he always had mangoes on his tree. Nobody stole his mangoes. What Pastor Lawrence had, he had some bottles tied onto his mango trees with different color fluids in it. So nobody know about a tea mango tree. Mango there. Everybody, yeah. Oh my gosh. But Pastor Lawrence was a trip.
That's funny.
Then we had this man on the other side, Mr. Peart. And Mr. Peart had a driving school. And so that's where I learned to drive at Mr. Peart's driving school. Anybody remember Mr. Peart driving school? And you learn to drive standard, and then you get to go for your driver's license. It was fabulous. Some of the people who I recall from Maypen, just thinking about the street. We had Miss Ira Porter, who worked with the correctional services. She was an educator by profession, and then she went into that era of life. So just my hope field.
Hope field. That is good. You have such good memories, and there are a lot of people who are doing good in your community. That is good. That is what we need. I remember we gave people a challenge. Did anybody do our challenge? Talk to the neighbor, like.
Yes. Well, did you?
For me, no.
Somebody says that Philip says he submitted an article on a teacher from his district. Did you get it? Something from Philip, Michelle?
I'll check, Philip. I'll check, and then we'll talk about it on Saturday.
Okay, Saturday is a real day when we get into it. I'm just doing my own recollection tonight.
I'll check. But when it came, it got cold here. Like it was warm, and then it got cold. So nobody's outside, you know what I mean? Everybody just rushed inside. So I didn't see my neighbors to have a conversation.
Philip says, so you still have the rest of the week to report. Did everybody perform their challenge? You were to speak to your neighbor, you were to do something that you wouldn't have done usually. Has everybody done that? Philip's thing is about Hewitt Buckley. Michelle, when you look in. And June saying, yes, I'm afraid of Guzum. It was more than Guzum. They was afraid of. Did everybody do what they were to do this week? Were you kind?
Oh, well, I did. I did something kind to somebody, a stranger.
Okay.
This lady was traveling for the first time, I guess, because her family left her at the airport. And we were going through. And I saw she didn't really know what to do. So what I did was, it's an older lady.
Okay.
I guided her through, like, sure, like, you need to take off your shoes. She didn't talk English, so I just, signal, whatever. Well, and I showed her, you take off your shoes. Then, when she was going, I said, you have a laptop, take it out of your bag or your tablet. Old people always have it. Everybody always have a tablet. So I showed her, like, you have to take it out, like, you have to empty it. Like, I guided her along so she could go, because she was, like, a little bit confused, like, where to go. It's a lot of people, so nobody have patience. And I guided her all the way through, like, for her to go and whatever. And she was so appreciative, of me taking the time to, like, guide her through to her gate. So that was my good thing.
That was your work of mercy.
Yeah.
It's always good to accommodate other people. They appreciate it regardless of language barrier. We're not to make that prevent us from doing good thing or just being helpful one to the other, regardless of languages. It don't matter. Philip says that he made a donation today to a boys' home in Mandeville affiliated to the United Church.
Wow.
Oh,
That is
very good,
awesome.
Philip. Great. That's very good. So we must commend Philip for that. Him deserve all the love for making something good.
Round of
Noreen
applause.
says kudos, Michelle. So kudos. VM says, lost my voice, so I could not meet the challenge. Why did you lose your voice, Heslop? Jacqueline Rose says, every day I help someone, I'm going to say to
Yes.
you, come on here and tell me how you helped today. About every day you help someone.
Yeah, you have to help, in any way you can. People need it. The only thing I don't do is, people go give me flack. But when I see people begging money on the road, I don't. That's the only thing I don't do. But it's always good to help people if you can. It don't take a lot, you know, to help.
That's true. I try to help as much, and I agree with you. I don't help. I don't always, and I do sometimes, but I don't always give money to people begging on the roads. Half of the time I figure them going to use it for drugs or, I just can't bother. And the risk in Jamaica to roll down your window to do something and somebody do something else to you in return. So I don't bother half of the time. Sandra says, I opened the door for an elderly woman. She was very grateful because she had a cane. Oh, you did a good deed. Go, girl. Jacqueline says, my heart bigger than my body. All right, fine. You're truly Jamaican, my dear. The whole of our heart bigger than our body. And sometimes we fight the urge to do something good because we have probably just adjusted to the North American way of life. And so we overlook things and we're not to ever make that happen. Diana says, I don't really see anyone begging in my neighborhood. If I go to Toronto or closer to Toronto, my mom told me, buy someone food, no dollars. Exactly. Yeah. And them don't want the food half of the time, so no bother.
Always play it forward. Help people, they'll help somebody else, with kindness, show kindness, do whatever you can. It don't have to be anything major, something as simple, As what's her name just said, holding the door. Sandra just said, holding the door.
Yes. And Jackie reassures us by saying it don't have to be money, which is true. And Keisha says, I help an elderly lady to her seat today. And on that thing, I went to the bank today, and I must share that they had seats outside, depending on what it was that you're doing. You had to sit outside. And so this elderly lady came to the bank and she needed to sit outside. And this man just jumped up. There were young people there, and this middle-aged man jump up and say, come, mommy, come sit down here, so come sit down here, so. And the young people, them just lounge up on them phone and like them never even see the old lady walking past them.
That's how people are. Some people. Yeah, it is sad, but with our show, we'll make a difference. If everybody listening in try to make a difference, it will make a difference and influence others.
Sandra says that she do help someone every day by having a conversation with a huge smile in my eyes and voice since she's wearing the mask. And Noreen Hunt says, just saying a kind word to someone. Yes, but we have to make a deliberate effort sometimes to say a kind word, because we sometimes just get lost in our own self and our own issues. Mish?
Yeah, that is true. Like, I always push my personal side when, dealing or interacting with people, because especially what I do. Like, like sometimes, like your emotion don't really matter. You just have to try to find encouraging words to tell, because you never know how you're saving that person that day. Because sometimes people are so burdened by their personal life and all other things happening. You never know. So even for somebody to talk to, like some people will just unload because they have so much and they just want somebody to listen. Not necessarily giving advice, just listening to them and, conversing. And to them that it made a year or more to have that conversation, because you never know what people are going through. So I always try to be kind. Even sometimes like you want to tell them the hard truth, like, but I always try to be kind, in whatever I do. I try not to be harsh. Because you never know, because you being kind to somebody, in the future, somebody will be kind to you. And then sometimes you get blessings and you don't know where you got that blessings from. And it's because you did something in your past that, end up with you getting the blessing you're getting.
That's true. That's really true, Mish. And like you said, sometimes you just have to put aside yourself and focus on just doing something. Conversation with the mask, just a little twinkle in your eye and saying something to somebody is important. Just saying a kind word to someone. Yes, Noreen, that's quite true. Jackie says, I put that on my status today. You don't know what people are going through. And that's true. Diana says, I saw a man begging once. He was smoking. I said, quit buying cigarettes and he will have to beg. He stood up, placed my hand on my bag and said, keep it coming. You will get it. He sat back down. Dad told me, young lady, keep your mouth closed. Just keep stepping. That was university days. Have changed now. No longer so mouthy.
Yeah, most of them I don't say anything to them. Because the reason why I don't say a lot to them, especially in our area where I live, is not where I live. They're not like where I live. Like I live in a residential kind of area, but like we have the town where they're migrating towards, our area from the downtown area. But like you have a lot of facilities here. It's not like Jamaica where you don't know. You have a lot of facility where they have offer them housing for beds at night for them to sleep. They have their lunch, breakfast, and dinner to get from these. For those who need medications, they get it. You know what I mean? So they get these benefits. So I know, and for those who say that they're from a military, you do have the military, you have different organizations that offer specific assistance for them. So, and they have social services that is available for them to get regular housing. So it's not hard to direct them to where to get these assistance if they want it. So to me, if you're there, not like some people generally are there begging because they're not able to, but it's kind of hard for me with all these services that are available. And then sometimes you look at it and they say, all right, like someone have a sign that say, I haven't worked in ages or whatever. And then right in front of them, you see like the restaurant saying we're hiring and it's above minimum wage. So you're like, instead of sitting in front begging, why not apply for a job? You know what I mean? So in those instances, I don't help. But for children, they always have my heart. I will always help children. But as I said, I don't hand money to individuals. I prefer to purchase or donate to the facility. Like if the school want doing a drive or like something, I don't hand money. So it goes to the right places.
Zizi Pamalu says, good evening. What's the topic? Hope everyone is doing well. Yes, we're all doing well. We should fine you for being so late because remember, we only do an hour on Tuesday night. We talked about things in Jamaica. We talk about the bobsled team not making it, but we're still celebrating. We talk about a community that I grew up in, Hopefield in Clarendon, in Maypen area. We spoke about 3 persons within that community. And we're still encouraging people to send to jamaicaconvo@gmail.com a little blurb on an individual whom you want for us to celebrate as your hero during this period. So that's what we're talking about. And we talk about Valentine's Day. Did you get anything? Did you get chocolate? How much chocolate did you get?
Oh, shit.
We talk
yeah,
about
your girls, when they ask you, that's why you come on.
Yes, mistaken, yes.
Oh, Fern asked for you, so you have to jump in. Fern, hear me there.
Who asked me? Who asked me again?
Fern.
Oh,
Fern.
Okay. Fern Francis asked early.
Oh, I want to be the first to put up my hand to abolish PEP or entrance exams into high school. Mark my word. And we're gonna have that discussion the next time.
Yeah.
All right, we can talk about it. I have reasons why we probably still need to keep it until we put other
Saturday.
incremental changes in there. Diana says, if you are dying in my neighborhood, you will never see anyone. They will just call the cops. VM please also remember that there are invisible disabilities. Yes,
That is
the
true.
individual may look fine, but they're really not fine. Jacqueline Rose says, I'm a Maypen girl. Ooh, which high school you went to? Jesse Smith says, good evening. I know I'm very late. Yes, you're very late. And we're going to find you, but Leo is here. Leo, how was Valentine's Day for you?
Now I will ask a question because me had a pressure, enough pressure. Me have exam, 5-hour exam, 5 essay in a 5 hour. That's too much. That's not Valentine's Day. That's not Valentine's Day. And I don't want to go back to another Valentine's Day again like that again because that'd be a headache me have. When midnight
All
comes,
right.
it's like, sure.
We'll take chocolate for you and make you feel better.
You have chocolate for me?
Yes.
So why didn't you send
Chocolate
it
tea.
so that I get it
Chocolate
before?
tea. Chocolate tea.
Oh, yeah. They call them a chocolate tea.
Actually, I must say that I had an okay day. I didn't get to play music because of my pressures, but I had a very relaxing day. It was very good. I must say.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Lorna says, Lorna Hamilton Blackwood. Lorna is there all this time? She said the way some of them dress and look, they can't enter the restaurant to apply. Okay, reasonably. Zizi says Valentine's Day. She was having surgery. Thank God it went well. We're happy that you're here.
Yes.
Oh, you
You're
never
having surgery?
Yeah, Zizi
Oh.
Palmer Lewis.
Zizi, I hope that all went well and you know things will be much better after today, after yesterday.
Yes. She's still recuperating, but we're really happy that she joined us in our state of recuperation and everything went well. Jacqueline Rowe went to very technical, won't hold it against you. Hush. Carlene Madden says, keep pushing, Leo. Focus on the finish line. Woo!
Yes, Carlene, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, my girl, thank you. I get it.
Diana, she would have sure herself I got roses and chocolate from Spouse, and she ordered Uber Red Lobster and us because I cannot, no shame.
Sure.
Michelle, yeah, the same boat. Should I order too? Right, Mish?
Yeah.
I got a bun though. I got a bun.
Recover.
I got a bun. I forgot about that.
You got a bun?
I got a bun.
You got bun? But you always get bun,
No.
Leo. You always get bun. What kind of admission is that? You always get bun.
Which bun you talk about? Which bun you talk about?
You say you get bun and we say, but you always get bun.
That's a whole lot of different discussion now. So one other day we come back and we go talk about that the bun there. Okay?
You ever get bun, Leo?
Oh man, get enough bun at Jamaica and enough picnic bar and jackets and then thing. They want to talk about that in a big way. I want to know the numbers. And all of the people in West come America with them kids and all of a sudden the kids then get stopped at the airport.
It's a whole heap of people, you know.
A whole heap. They get stopped at the airport. And then call Michelle too. Then call Michelle.
Yes, Michelle get work. Michelle, how do you handle it when it's a situation that is really not their child? But I don't think it should be the US business.
Well, what I do is that obviously it's counseling for the child because sometimes it really hurt the child. The fathers, go through it, which they can still have relationship. But if it's not your child, you can't get any benefits. So what can happen is that if they were married to the mother, they could try to do a step parent application, or if the child is really young, before 14, adopt the child. And then if they have
before 14, not 18.
Yeah, before 14.
14, okay. Just to catch up back, Jacqueline Rowe wishes speedy recovery to our recuperating ZZ. Thank you. Lorna says Valentine's Day was too expensive for Leo. Too many people to make feel love.
Peace.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, defend him up like a lawyer. But making God. Zizi thanks everyone for their best wishes and her speedy recovery. Yes, we're family here, darling. Don't forget. Leo, I know you can do it. You will have to be on top with the studies, yes. And Diana says too. Jacqueline said we have to have a bun segment.
Bun fi bun.
Bun. Mhm. That
Nice.
girl cute.
Nice to see you guys, though. Very nice to see you guys. Wanna look
And
Yeah.
it's good to have you too, Leo. Thank you so much.
and the reader woman, right?
Today.
You're the one, Zizi, you know. February 15th is the day to buy a Valentine's gift. Usually it's 50% off or more.
All right. I'll line them up. I will line them up.
So Leo, this is saving you. So you can say it in the post, even though you know it's not no go so. Jacqueline Rose says so much fun tonight, and thanks, Peter. Leo, we thank you for being here. You have any closing remarks?
I was listening to the show. Very interesting. I love the perspectives and you know, me miss you know, but you know, so I go. You know, some love make noise and me miss making noise. So I'm waiting for the noise. I sit down and I'm listening. I'm waiting for somebody to make some noise, but I'm not making enough noise, man. Because you know, sure.
It's not loud. I'm a Westwoodite.
Come load up the place. Mish?
Let me say me a Westwoodite. We are ladies. We don't yell.
Beverly Brown said, Leo, then Beverly Brown are usually up on YouTube. Or should they hear? So I no comment on YouTube.
Yeah,
She
nobody
said, Leo,
not
you
going
look
find
like a
YouTube.
surgeon. With
Is
him,
that
with
Beverly
him
from
cap
Canada?
back way.
Is that Beverly from Canada or where is Beverly from?
Beverly Brown.
Oh, it's Beverly, not Beverly. Okay, okay. Hey, Bev. Oh, you don't know you. Me know you. You come from me show.
Yeah, we all know you. So, Mish?
Well, that's it. 10 o'clock, I know, right? Just
Yep.
like that.
It was good to be here. Remind people, jaconvo@gmail.com. Send your things in. We are going to talk on Saturday. We're going to have a guest who will come and share about her hero. And we will talk about that. We will continue to look at Black History Month and how the theme, Black Health, Black Wellness. We're going to talk about perhaps the merits of having spa treatments to mine us as well. So we'll see how those go. And Leo will
Yeah,
perhaps.
Leo. Yeah, Leo needs to come tell about his hero.
Yes, Leo, you have to come tell about for your hero.
That is, come tell us who you admire.
Okay, I will do that. I'll pop in for half
Yes.
an hour. So
We'll take you at 11:30. That's when we talk
11:30. I'm
heroes.
coming at 11:30. All right,
Yes.
guys.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Thank you all for joining. Night, night.